In the center of empty road, under the dense shadows of forest, tall trees stop two sleek cars when the door of one car is unlocked as Hoseok stepped out from it calmly. He stood against the metallic expensive form of his silver car before lighting up the cigarette, placing between his lips, looking at the long-distance road with his white shirt having stains of redness. Soon the door of other black car wide opened in a swift motion as Seokjin get down from it with stern and placid expressions on his face before marching towards Hoseok in a aggressive way. And his hand reached out to hold on to the collar of Hoseok, who sighed deeply at the demeanor of others who seems to bore into him angrily. The one you just shooted was one of our brother from Phantoms, and the brother was the one who betrayed us for someone else. Hyuk was one of our trustworthy, and you are mentioning him as betrayer. And what do you think? Why would I lie to you and kill one of our members, Seokjin? You are habitual to do whatever comes in your mind without even complete investigation, and this time you did the same too. I will never believe you even if others did already. Hoseok jerked away the hands of Seokjin from his collar with stern expressions, looking straightly into his eyes, and turned his form to leave from the sight of Seokjin's, but stopped and turned around last time. I stood by you through every struggle, but you are willing to doubt me for someone who has barely proven himself. I am disappointed to thought our bond was stronger than that, but I guess I was wrong. I am not going to argue further, as you seem to not accept your faults and determined to see it your way, Hoseok, he said, staring grimly at the distant male who sighed deeply at his statement. Hoseok glanced at Seokjin last time when both are expecting to hear some words to give them reason to stay, still not ending up in this way in the middle of their long journey of life, but it never happened. Hoseok's heavy thoughts broken by the sound of stormy rain droplets which are now covering the glass wall, totally similar to his straining heart as he gazed up at the doorway from where four of phantoms entered. I have imported some weapons and jackets. They will arrive in a while for the event. He take the seat just opposite Hoseok before setting his gaze on others too. It would be great as tomorrow we have to arrive at the destination with full armory. He spoke without even glancing at Hoseok, but remaining others who also take the seats there. No one knows the event is going to be destruction for Taigang, he stated, standing near the glassy wall with the stick between his sturdy fingers. He will come there alive but could not be able to go from there existent for sure. He leaned with the leathery seat with solemn expressions afterwards, saying his words decisively. Even his generations will regret for the sin he had committed by burning our cargo. Jungkook clattered the glass of expensive wine assertively in his hands as he is settled on the couch. And our weapons will make sure about this by removing every single fiber of him. He cradled the lighter from hands of Jungkook before bringing that towards his own cig with grim face. Taigang is unaware of the storm waiting for him. Hoseok with his potent aura straightened from the couch with his murky eyes settled on the smoke clouds in the hall. Phantoms igniting the area with their own obscure auras and the dominion of their power which is visible from their potent form and the formidable acts of theirs. The raining sound and the deep voices now airing in the huge mansion as if the darkness seems to have a life of its own under the ominous natures of sevens. Their voices remained dire when the wind outside raged with A beast similar to the flames of air in their spirits to take off the head of the person who dared to stand in way of phantoms. The astra now filled with ashes of many Sikhs, but the blaze within them does not seem to calm down until they have taken off the organs of Taigang. The rain does not have any further plans to cease, and the air is heavy with malevolent intent, and the dense trees are looming with each breeze of strong wind. The heaviness of silence grew under the dark walls of mansion, and the ultimate resilience of theirs remained more formidably than any other. The grand hall with polished marble floor is shrouded in an eerie silence when five phantoms, each with their own distinct dominion era, sat motionless and orb seal on the entrance and some distance. The atmosphere is thick with their collective power. To the left side, Jimin, his broad shoulders and chiseled jawline executing an aura of unyielding strength with, and next to him the enigmatic and calculating stare of Sokjans as he sat with imposing frame, radiating an intensity of brute force and strength. They must be on way to arrive at mansion for sure, he said calmly as they all awaiting of the bulletproof jackets they had imported from a tested. Jungkook passed glanced to him, crossing his well-built arms over his stuffed chest, and soon the door of hall swung open by Namjoon and Brice as they stepped inside, each one of both exuding authority and dominance. Both stepped ahead before shifting to the heavy bags they carried as they approached the glass table in center. The sound of bags hitting against the glass foam echoing through the vast area as Phantom's eyes scanned the bags. Here the bulletproof jackets, let's take a look on all before wearing, he said before turned and made his way to the ornate couch positioned beside Hyosok in unison. Minsuk's supplies materials are with warranty and we can assure that, he said inhaling the cig, as the far off the table the quiet and reserved yet unwavering intense gaze of his seemed to absorb the bleakness. All phantoms agreed in his statement. Afterwards, again all's gaze fixed on the table when Jimin unzipped the bags, taking out the dismal matte jackets from his stored hands. I totally relate with that. We never had any dilemma with the products. Across from all, the voice of Hyosok's break the ghostly silence of the hall as all glanced at him from afar. This phantom don't need any type of bulletproof jacket. I'll be totally fine, Hyosok exclaimed with serious expressions as said, self-assured and the burning sick. The rest of others stared at him with the serious looks almost drawn from the self-righteous words of Hyosok's and the sign on his inflated nature. That's the only reason we call you dramatic all time, Hyosok, he said with grim face. He said with one of his arm resting against the dismal surface of armrest leaning against the supporter. We cradled a glass of fine Scotch in his hand with narrowed eyeful as he savored the aroma with slow motion, and every time he receives opposite from his committed words. Phantoms nodded. Six of phantoms grinned at the sentence of Wiz, eyeing at Hyosok, who sat there with his commitment.